Hey guys, what's going on? Mel Milton here. If you're new to the channel, that's me, Mel Milton. Um, Today I figured I would um, some mouse study practicing, and thought I'd share it here. You know, I get a lot of questions on kind of how I practice. This is kind of one of the things when I want to get more practice time in, I will just focus and isolate certain things. So today was, I'm like, one of the things that I have a really tough time with open mouths. You know, just because I don't do them very often. And it's tests like these where I'll practice, for a little while, and then I try to be a little bit more methodical with it, just so that I'm taking a little bit more time to be thinking about what it is that I'm drawing. So mouths, again, I'm fine with closed mouth. Open mouths and teeth are quite tricky for me. So doing this first one, I was locked up because it was teeth. I start symbolizing them, and like I said, their teeth. There's this, rather than focusing on what's the shapes that I'm looking at. As I move through this one, I feel a little bit better, but again, I probably spent way more time than what I normally do. Especially coming from, like I said, I've been using the lasso tool for such a long time, just to get used to it, that doing these ones was kind of a throwback. And so yeah, it was I was pretty fatigued after this first one, but it's on and off. There's a point where I'll go back and use the lasso tool just to either put in the background or flat out some bigger color parts. But for this one, I got to noodling, and I probably noodled way too much. But again, I was noodling one, with the lasso tool I don't noodle as much, and so it's just like I want to hurry and get through things, and it helps me to understand shapes, whereas kind of drawing everything out and rendering helps me to be a little bit more mindful, think through, like what it is that I'm trying to achieve, especially like going to traditional digital practice. I love digital practice just for the fact is like I can experiment a whole lot faster than I can with traditional mediums. And so that's what I love about digital. But I know being in the digital mindset for too long, I will cut corners a lot more. I won't be as mindful as what I'm doing, and again, I won't recognize when I'm fatigued. Yeah, my brain was my brain was hamburger meat. And I was like, even and after I finished doing them, I'm like, do I post these up? And I figured, I'm trying to be a little bit more putting videos up. If you like these kind of things, it's just these are fun for me. And like I said, it's the learning. I'm hoping to get to a point where it's like I'll explain more what I'm doing videos, but I'm still getting used to the fact every time I hit that record button, my mind shifts to a different way of thinking. So I'm getting there, though. Like these practices today help me to just to because of so much rendering. As I was doing the rendering, I kind of put that, oh, it's on record, on the back burner. My mind was occupied enough with the rendering that I didn't think much on the recording part of it. So sorry about that. My voice is going. So So yeah, I don't know if this is a format that people would like, you know, but again, I'm kind of going to handle these things like my Instagram and Facebook accounts, where it's, you know, I'll work on something and just take the pressure off of myself to make these videos. And so I figured studying would be a good way of keeping my mind occupied while it's recording. And I mean, if you guys enjoy them, I'll keep doing them. But you know, I was gonna start with eyes because I love eyes, and then I realized, well, you know, that's the easy one. You know, take on the mouth, and even then, the mouth is not really that bad. As soon as it's opened up, like I said, deer in headlights. So I figured, what the heck, I might as well you know, get some time in with doing some teeth, you know. And again, it's funny that you know, especially like when you switch from one way of doing something to another, how your mind will label things. You know, like I said, I'm sitting here going like the lips, the teeth, and it's in my mind, I'm sitting here going like, that doesn't look like a tooth, that doesn't look like a tooth, as I'm working on it. I know I should probably, and again, the more I do the practice, I realize it's like, look, focus on the shape, focus on the shape, you know, nail that shape down. But the longer I do it, I know like I said, as I get tired, my mind also starts, you know, doing that, going back to that kind of thinking, you know, especially when you get tired. And so, you know, but the thing, as I went from one to the next, I try to, you know, look for the things that are kind of familiar from the last one and bring it into the next one. And so I think that's the beauty of practicing, especially like taking your time, isolating a certain subject, and then, you know, practice it a lot, not just a little bit, but just like a lot. Just so the more you do it, the more you'll see that there's patterns. You know, even if you turn the mouth or the mouth opens, you know, you'll see certain patterns the longer you do it, and then you build that confidence. And I think that goes with any part of studying something or practicing something, is you know, take more time than just you know, here, let me spend a minute on it trying to practice something. You know, if you want to improve, you know, take your time. Don't try to rush through it. And again, you know, early on, I did this a whole lot. I find that I learn doing these kind of isolated practices, that I learn a lot faster than doing bigger images or full images. I mean, there's still something to learn, but by isolating certain small, you know, making smaller tests, you have the ability to really get to know that thing that you're studying. So it's studying on purpose, right? And so that's why you know, I know that if I were to stick with open mouse for 30 days, I probably wouldn't. So I have a hard time. But again, if I don't do it a whole lot, eventually, you know, have to practice it again, or, you know, shift that mindset. And at this point, this one was the one that really got me. I was, when I started off, I was like, well, you know, I want to do at least 6. And I got to this one, and I was done. I was like, yeah, you know, wanted to call it, but as you can see in this one, I threw that nose in there, and then I got kind of caught up in the nose and the cheek and the chin, and it was, you know, took me a little bit, because again, I was tired at this moment, and so the thinking started going out the window, and you know, I didn't tackle the teeth. Like I said, I spent more time on the other stuff, trying to be like, okay, stay away from those teeth, because just I wasn't feeling it at this point. But then it's like, you know, muscle through it, get to the teeth. Once I got back to that, you know, got a second to think about it. It's like, you know, what is it that I'm trying to learn? And that's why I said it's, you know I do it all the time, especially like when I get into something for a long time, I'll go back to certain habits. And it's, you know, at some point you gotta say, okay, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? So, top of that nose here in a second, just because I was like, you know, you're spending too much time on that part of it. It's not about the nose, it's about, you know, the mouth. And so it took me a second, but I got back on it. And then I was like, okay, just finish that last one really quick and you'll be in a good spot. You know, then you've accomplished your, you know, your 6, and you know, hurrah! So I had fun doing these, and that's, to me, the part that I really like, is just having fun and not taking them seriously. You know, feel like I learned something. You know, felt like I took away something, especially because, again, with these kind of things, there are some days where I'll take a lot of it for granted. And so this one helped me to just, you know, be mindful, be more mindful than I have been in a long time. So I really enjoyed it. If you like this video, leave a comment down below, let me know. If you're not subscribed, consider it. You know, I'm trying to put in more and more you know, time into making these videos, so you know, I appreciate you coming by. If you have any ideas of what I could do next, I think I might do the eyes, just for the fact that I'm on the studies. So eyes might be next. But if you have something that you think you'd like to see, or any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate you coming in and checking this one out. And I will see you on the next one. Keep on keeping on.